Why women follow purpose over hype isn't about trends, it's about nervous system truth. Hype is loud novelty. Purpose is quiet direction. The feminine body follows fields that lower threat and increase meaning. Mission-driven masculinity, practiced through semen retention and a spiritual journey, emits that field as warm, steady gravity. Hype spikes dopamine, then demands another spike. Purpose converts energy into direction, time ethics, and service. A purposeful man doesn't just state values, his calendar, tone, and choices consistently embody them. Women sense that congruence as safety and attraction. The divine masculine made legible in the small, boring places life actually happens. Semen retention strengthens time preference. You trade short loops for long arcs. Spirituality supplies vector, why the energy matters and whom it serves. Voltage without vector becomes pressure. Vector without voltage becomes wishful talk. Together, retention and devotion produce a magnetic aura that feels less like performance and more like climate. Our thesis is practical. Purpose reduces ambient threat, clarifies options, and creates surplus for generosity. Hype increases noise, narrows attention to reactions, and burns goodwill. On a spiritual journey, women follow purpose because it is easier to be themselves around it. The body votes for coherence before the mind writes a story. Attraction at depth is a reward schedule read, not a lecture. The feminine nervous system scans for how you manage reward. Do you chase micro-hits or do you build longer satisfactions? Mission-driven masculinity reweights dopamine toward mastery, service, and presence. Semen retention is the lab where you train that reweighting daily. Neuroception, the body's pre-conscious safety scan, reads breath cadence, gaze stability, and prosody in milliseconds. Men on a purposeful path show longer exhales, steadier timing, and fewer compulsive micro-movements. You're mobilized without frenzy, relaxed without collapse. That bodily coherence is felt as safe and attractive well before any words about purpose. Spirituality refines value. You practice gratitude, devotion, and ethical limits. Over time, your nervous system associates reward with alignment rather than applause. The signal that women read is responsiveness, not reactivity. Capacity to scale up for challenge and scale down without sulking. Purpose earns trust by regulating tempo, not by raising volume. Consider the law of attraction reframed as ethics. Coherent inputs produce coherent outputs, which attract coherent people. Hype sells anticipation. Purpose delivers receipts, a finished track, a repaired hinge, a generous introduction, an apology with change. Women follow the reliability of delivery because that's where life gets easier, richer, and truer. Time is attraction's quiet currency. The feminine reads your time horizon through punctuality, pacing, and recovery. When your calendar matches your creed, bodies relax. When your schedule contradicts your mouth, bodies brace. Mission-driven masculinity treats the calendar as scripture, few promises, kept fiercely, buffered for humanity. Semen retention trains delay of gratification, which is time ethics in your cells. You feel an urge, breathe, and choose. That rep hardens into capacity, which migrates into money decisions, sleep, training, and conversation. Spirituality directs that capacity towards service and craft, not just self-image. Over weeks, your rhythm persuades better than speeches. Tempo leadership is part of purpose. You can slow a moment to deepen it or quicken to protect a boundary without drama. That rhythmic intelligence is security. It keeps time with truth. Women follow men whose timing reduces chaos. Work starts on time, affection is unrushed, conflict is not postponed into resentment. Micro-consistency is the sexiest frame. Texts returned when promised, departures on time, repairs done without prompting. These aren't small, they are mission made measurable. The feminine subconsciously tallies these signals and concludes, I can relax here. This man's trajectory is real. That's purpose over hype in action. Hype hunts attention. Craft generates value. Mission-driven masculinity orients toward a domain, code, carpentry, music, medicine, mentorship, and gets boringly better at it. Craft is how retained energy and spiritual devotion crystallized into something that feeds others. Women feel craft as calm confidence that doesn't audition.
Craft reveals itself in the way you explain, iterate, and ship. You speak precisely about process, not just about results. You receive critique without theatrics. You keep showing up after applause fades. That non-performative competence is trustworthy because it isn't dependent on audience mood. It keeps families, teams, and love stable. Semen retention supports craft by stabilizing attention and reweighting dopamine from novelty to depth. Spirituality protects craft from ego capture by reminding you whom the work serves. The output becomes offering music that heals, software that helps, meals that gather. Women follow that because it's real, useful power. Clout is adrenaline, craft is gravity. Adrenaline excites, then exhausts. Gravity gathers, then builds. Purposeful men radiate gravity in rooms. They make others bigger. They reduce confusion. They create options. That field is the magnetic aura people talk about. It's not flair, it's the felt effect of finished work. Containment is a promise about yourself. I will hold my energy. Performance is a plea to others. Validate my energy. The feminine trusts containment because it predicts behavior under stress. Mission-driven masculinity emerges when semen retention grows containment and spirituality keeps the heart soft. Containment shows up as clean yes-no, transparent desire without pressure, and the ability to stop yourself kindly. It is the masculine love language. You hold boundaries with warmth. You apologize quickly when you miss. You repair without self-flagellation. Women experience containment as space to blossom, not rules to obey. Performance can mimic presence until friction hits. Then tone sharpens, eyes go glassy, or withdrawal becomes punishment. Hype cannot metabolize disappointment. Purpose can. Your mission is bigger than mood, so your behavior remains relational. That steadiness is the safety the feminine body reads as green lights. Semen retention is the daily gym for this. Each urge is a rep. Feel, breathe, choose, move. Spirituality aligns the rep with meaning, so discipline doesn't harden into denial. In combination, they produce a field that is warm, bounded, and non-predatory. That field is followed because it costs less to be near. Mission doesn't need a TED Talk. It needs a clear sentence and consistent evidence. I'm building X for Y because Z matters. The feminine doesn't require grand manifestos. It requires legibility. When asked, you answer cleanly. When not asked, you let your output speak. That balance signals grounded purpose. Voice is your aura on audio. A breath-supported voice resonant, paced, with prosody, broadcasts regulation. Forced baritone or vocal fry reads as performance. Semen retention steadies arousal so your voice doesn't chase or retreat. Spirituality softens pride so your voice doesn't dominate. Together, they produce tone that people trust. Silence is also part of your language. Purposeful men can let a moment breathe without scrambling to fill it. You're not auditioning, you're attending. Your questions have room, your listening has weight. The feminine reads that as safety with spark, presence that witnesses rather than hunts. Narrative hygiene matters. Avoid future faking and spiritual cosplay. Speak the next concrete step, not the 30-year prophecy. Ship something, then talk about what you learned. Purpose over hype is a communication ethic. Clarity, brevity, and receipts. Women follow clarity they can audit. Mission-driven masculinity treats leadership as stewardship. Power used to create more safety, not more spotlight. In groups, you summarize crisply, distribute credit, and make decisions that protect the vulnerable while enabling velocity. That power width lowers social threat and raises collective output. It's palpably attractive. Service is the long game of status. You pay the unseen bills, the note after the meeting, the introduction that opens a door, the unglamorous fix that keeps systems running. The law of attraction, defluffed, says coherent service draws coherent allies. The feminine follows men who make the world work better.
Semen retention provides surplus energy to serve without resentment. Spirituality keeps service from becoming saviorism by returning you to humility and consent. The field you emit becomes invitational, not coercive. Others move toward it because they breathe easier inside it. That is the divine masculine at scale. Beware charisma without coherence. Loud energy hooks attention but spikes vigilance. Coherence attuned, rhythmic, accountable, organizes rooms without drama. Women track the difference without thinking about it. They follow men who can lead without taking more than they return. Run a 40-day mission retention container. Vow semen retention as stewardship. I retain to serve clarity, courage, and kindness. Pair with daily prayer or meditation to keep vector clean. Choose one project and ship weekly outputs over optics. Track mood, urges, sleep, and social feedback to watch your signal change. Daily triad: breath, body, brief. 6 slow breaths morning and midday, longer exhale. 20 to 30 minutes of resistance and mobility for hips and spine, and a 2-minute vow before work. This stabilizes arousal, strengthens containment, and links voltage to purpose. Women don't need to know your routine, they feel its residue. Weekly cadence: ship, Sabbath, service. Ship something that helps someone. Sabbath from tech for half a day to reset dopamine and attention. Service that costs time or money to keep ego ventilated. Anti-hype detox. Remove doom scroll, outrage loops, pornified imagery, and excess caffeine for 30 days. Your attention becomes investable, not spendy. Social practice. Speak last when possible. Summarize crisply. Ask better questions and give credit by name. These are spiritual disciplines disguised as communication. They reduce fog and elevate others, primary markers of trustworthy leadership. Mission-driven masculinity is built in these boring reps. In the end, women follow purpose over hype because the body prefers coherence over spectacle. Semen retention supplies voltage. Spirituality supplies vector. Mission-driven masculinity is voltage and vector braided into days that keep time with truth. That braid feels like warm gravity, safe enough to relax, alive enough to spark. Don't chase followership, build a life that emits it. Keep your promises small and exact. Aim your surplus into service. Let your words ride your breath, not your adrenaline. Let your calendar preach your creed. Let your craft feed people. That is law of attraction as lived ethics. Tonight, make one vow and one move. Vow: I retain to serve. Move: ship something useful. Repair one thing you delayed, or give generously where you've been tight. Sleep on time. Tomorrow, repeat. Mission rises from repetition, not revelation. Purpose becomes aura the way stone becomes smooth water over time. When the field is real, rooms quiet by ease, not intimidation. Conversations deepen without coaxing. Women orient because direction and consent coexist. That is the divine masculine on a spiritual journey. No hype, just the lives whose coherence does the talking and whose purpose does the leading.